Hey, my name is Faith and I'm a virtual assistant. I've been doing that for about 2 years now. And if you're watching this video, then I imagine that you are looking to find a virtual assistant. You are ready for the hiring process. I did post a video all about tips to do before you hire a virtual assistant, things that you should do beforehand. So really, it's just, if you know that you're ready, you have the tasks that you want them to perform, you know what kind of virtual assistant you want, and you actually have the budget to hire somebody. Here are 4 ways that I think that you can find a virtual assistant. The first one is asking for referrals, asking friends and family, and just putting something like on Instagram or Facebook, hey, I want to hire a virtual assistant. Or if you realize I really need someone who specializes in social media marketing, sharing that with people. And you never know, one of your friends might have a virtual assistant business, they might have a side business, they might know somebody who has a business. That's a great way to get started. The second way to find a virtual assistant is hiring through an agency. Now, there's a lot of different agencies out there. Again, there's once you have your kind of virtual assistant you want, there are agencies that specialize in certain things. So if you need a copywriter, someone to write things for you, there are copywriting agencies. If you have a specific niche like that you're needing for your business, I would probably recommend going to an agency that specializes in that, because you're probably going to find the most skilled virtual assistants in those agencies because they're hiring for those specific skills. Now, you can find an agency just by looking at Google, looking at Instagram, Facebook, again, sharing referrals or asking for referrals. So there's a lot of different agencies out there. Kind of the pro with having an agency is that you don't really have to hire a virtual assistant. They do the hiring for you. They handle the money and everything. A con of the agency route is that you don't always necessarily know who you're getting. So again, they contract out the work. You're not necessarily the one hiring that person and working directly with that person. Some agencies, maybe it's like that, but I know some agencies don't want their virtual assistants to talk to the client. Some require them to talk to the client. So that's just kind of a con. I think that you don't really get to pick your person necessarily. And it's likely that if you don't like the person that maybe they picked for you or whatever, then you can always request somebody else and they will do that work to find somebody else. But keep in mind that if you're going for a specialty agency, you may be paying a premium because remember, they have to pay themselves and they have to pay the virtual assistant. So you might be just paying more overall. I will say that I did work for an agency once. I know that I had absolutely no contact with the client. They contacted the client. And basically, I just gave the work to the agency and they decided if it was up to their standards. I also think that they were charging a lot of money to this client just based on what I saw. So again, that's just something to keep in mind. The third way to hire somebody is hiring directly, just posting a job advert, whether that's on Indeed or LinkedIn or in virtual assistant Facebook groups. I've seen that happen. That requires a little bit more work on your part because you're going to have to figure out how are they going to apply. You're going to have to go through all of those, resumes or portfolios, whatever you're needing. You're going to have to interview. So there's a lot more work on your part, but you can also be able to find somebody within your budget because you're going to be able to be transparent about that. And, you could post that, say, this is what I can pay people for. So people who are applying for that will know that up front. Kind of a con with that is just it does require a lot more work on your part. And I mean, there's not really a guarantee that you're even going to find somebody that is up to your standards. But if you like having more control over knowing who you're hiring and, talking with them beforehand, then that is a great way to go. And the fourth way to find a virtual assistant is just by looking for them. I would say looking for them, Googling, maybe even in your area, virtual assistants or whatever it is that you're looking for. Maybe it's a marketer, looking on social media or Instagram and just finding virtual assistants and seeing if they fit what your needs are, and then reaching out to them directly. Kind of the con with this is, again, it takes a little bit more work because you're going to have to find somebody and look for somebody that way. Another con is that you don't always know if they're going to be in your price range. So you might find somebody on Instagram and you're like, this person, they're posting great things that I think would be great for my business, but they're just out of my price range. But I think a pro to this is that usually you're able to really get to know the virtual assistant beforehand. You can see everything they've been posting or everything about them, you know, on their website. So you kind of know who you're going to be getting before you even kind of like talk to them or interview them. So those are my 4 ways of finding a virtual assistant. And that's what I would do if I needed to find a virtual assistant. Personally, when I was looking for a subcontractor, I chose to do a job advert just because I wanted to have full control over who I knew I was going to be hiring. I hope this helped you and gave you ideas on how to find a virtual assistant, and I hope you find what you're looking for. So see you guys next video. Bye.